All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming. This is our first Bach to Rock podcast. Today we have myself, I'm Jake. This is Mel and David. They're the current directors here at Bach to Rock Rocklin. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
All right. So just to quickly introduce you guys. So you guys are the current owners. You were the director roughly about 2 years ago?
Yeah, about 2 years ago, about 2016 to 2018.
2016, and you're the current one, and forevermore, long live the king.
Yes. After David left, then it was myself, and then up to today. Hopefully.
Awesome. So, like, one of the big things, the reason we're doing this podcast is for sure for advertisement. We want to be a part of the community. We'll talk more about kind of the plans for it down the line. But I just wanted to hear, you guys are now the owners. What's new about that? And what are some short-term kind of plans and what's that changed? How's that changed your guys' family life?
So I think it's really fun to be in charge of everything, and we have kind of our own ideas of what we'd like to do with it. We're very excited, especially to be able to keep growing in the community and provide a venue for the kids to play at, because one of our major philosophies is that we teach the kids, we get them in bands, and then to complete the circle, they need to do some type of community service. And I think that's what sets us apart from other places, is that we're always ready, willing, and able with kids to go out and help the community in however capacity they need.
That's cool.
And I think to add in that, and just taking along your question, we are in the process to hopefully take over completely for Bach to Rock as owners, but I think it's important for our family. We want our kids to grow up in this environment. It's a thing where we all participate. Both of our girls take lessons here. We know the teachers. We like to meet with them. We just want to make it like a family-friendly place where, all your kids have the needs. They go through, do different stuff, piano. And then we have many families, they have, the same concept that we do. They bring all their kids, they enroll all the kids in different instruments. All the kids play together. And I think that's going to be really fun. I think it's something for everybody here.
That's cool. And thinking of, your kids, Hannah got some real chops on drums and bass, and Izzy's got some real pipes coming on her. And then, is she playing anything else? I can't remember.
Piano.
She started to play piano?
Piano and voice.
She's actually started to read, with our method, she started to read piano music very, very quickly. Like within 2 weeks, she was already reading pretty, intermediate stuff for someone just starting out.
That's cool.
And to add on to it, Hannah started along, when I started practically in 2016, and she played some piano. And now she's a multi-instrumentalist and plays in 2 or 3 bands. So she plays drums, bass, piano, and picking up ukulele. So the method really works.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's cool to be able to see, because I've seen her she's in that band too? Okay. If she's got the gumption, she'll get it.
She hasn't played piano for a while, and the other day she just picked up some piano music, set it on the piano, and just read it and played it. It's amazing.
That's cool.
So
that's cool.
And I think that's what is cool too. Like I say, sometimes kids do different activities here and there, and then you see the parents running around from one activity to other, and it's just not that family time. But I feel like here is something for everybody, and then all the kids can perform together. Then families can spend more time together. It's just a fun way to get the energy out of the kids and have fun at the same time.
It's a good call. Get the energy out. Just leave it out.
Just get it on the drums.
So when's the family band? Anytime.
Anytime. Okay. We're thinking about a name.
I'll hold my breath.
It's taken a while because we wanted to get it perfect. So,
Good call.
Yes.
So moving forward, so what is the kind of music background? I know, David, you have a lot longer of a music background, and Mel, you are largely
you gotta have
music.
You gotta have music. If you don't have fans, you don't have music too. Right?
Yes.
You gotta have a roadie, or the show doesn't.
You gotta have some roadies. So.
I don't have much in reality. Almost no. I don't play any instrument. So I've been around with the music. I love music, but more than that, I love the the whole concept of Back to Rock brought in, which is like, the community outreach, to be close with your family, your kids to participate. So that's what really got me into. I tried to get into the drums. I thought it was kind of cool, but as a parent, I don't have that much time to
You
practice.
assisted with the kids and keys. Though. You
Yeah,
have
the
that.
keys
You got
and
the
keys.
kids and keys.
I've been a teacher helper many times, so I'm pretty good with the Keys and Keys program. I can do some of those songs myself.
Yeah,
So
the Kids and Keys program is really great. I mean, those are for 5 to 7-year-olds. We even have accepted 4-year-olds sometimes in the Kids and Keys class. And truly, I've seen 4 and 5-year-olds learn how to sight read on the piano with that method. It's a really fun one. But to my musical background, I started off as a piano major, so I was for 3 years piano performance major. I grew up around music. My stepdad is a Grammy judge, and he taught me guitar.
I did
And he
not know
taught
that.
me he taught me all kinds of genres on the guitar. So guitar is my secondary instrument. And he was with my piano teacher, and him kind of really inspired me to love music. He would take me down to the NAMM show and, introduce me to all these people and all these different kinds of, music styles. So I think I got a really well-rounded approach between rock and classical. My piano teacher would teach me a lot of classical, but then let me expand myself to jazz and to other, genres of music. So I've grown up loving it. I did switch out of my piano major to a business major, so I do have the,
It happens.
after our kids go to college, I will go back and get that, so.
I believe in you.
Thank you, Jake.
I got you, man.
You're my biggest fan,
Yeah.
so thank you.
We'll see that paper on the wall.
after you pay for their college, which
Yeah,
you're probably
after-
going to
yeah.
be broke by
I will
then.
need to pay, yeah.
Oh, don't get me started.
So,
I know.
yeah, if you know a financial guy, let us know so we can figure out how to
Yeah,
all
for
work
sure.
that out.
You might have to go to get a college degree to pay off the college degree on that
Exactly, it's a vicious circle.
one. Oh, that's good. So you guys have had vastly different experiences being the director as a music person versus as not a music person, and I wanted to ask, what are some of the unique oddities of working with music people? Because we definitely have our own reputations. I'll belabor some drummers for being late constantly. In fact, that's we expected one here today, but
Yeah,
Well, I think my personal case, I think I got the biggest impact because I'm not a musician, so I didn't know how the musicians work. They are great. They are super. Something that I learned from musicians actually is they are super flexible. They pretty quickly adjust to don't worry, Mel, we'll do it this way. And I'm like, okay, you got it, perfect. I'm a more rigid person, and I do only see black and white, but the musical background usually help them to become a little more flexible and creative at the time to problem solving. So that's being a fantastic thing. That being said, they are not morning people. If I tell them 9 in the morning, they look at me like I'm about to, well, they are not morning people. So I learned that they stay up very late.
feel like
Practicing.
I feel like you're
That's what
directly
they
digging
say.
at me.
Practicing. Sometimes they show up at 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, looks like it's 8 in the morning. I'm like, do you just wake up? Maybe, I don't know. So that's kind of my experience. They're great, great people. Sometimes I come out with some crazy ideas and I'm like, what about? And they look at me like, you don't know. You don't know if that's happening. So I feel like they are very, again, sweet people. All our teachers here have a great open mind to try different. I never heard one of them to say, well, I only like this kind of music. They always like all different. They love to learn different kind of music. So I think that helps a lot when kids come with different ideas, with different backgrounds. They are always open to try and to teach them a different, kind of music. What about you, David?
well, I have a different experience because I'm a musician, but a couple of things to add on to that is that they have a lot to show, not only the kids, but me when I was a director. And I thought, you have this wealth of knowledge, if you collectively put it together, hundreds of years of knowledge, of musicianship. And I indeed learned a lot of stuff too, and we'd have discussions about modes and about this and that, and it was really enlightening for me, especially because we have such a diverse group of teachers. We have teachers that have degrees in music. We have teachers that have kind of learned it, learned on, just being in the band and learning it that way, and, learning rock and roll, learning tablature. And so this kind of eclectic mix of people, of musicians, was really neat. And I really enjoyed, every time, talking about how to do different things and how to motivate the kids. And I agree with Mel, they're always open to trying new things, to motivating the kids. They have a big passion to make it fun for the kids and make it productive for the kids, because I believe you could have a win-win. It can be productive and it can be fun. You don't have to pick and choose.
Especially with music.
Especially with music. And that's the thing that I relate to the parents and the kids, is that, music is so vast and so big. There's so much things to learn, so many instruments to learn. Just pick one. You don't need to only go with piano or only go with violin or the standard instruments. Like, branch out and look, and that's what I love about our teachers, is that they're so open to all that, and that's the way I really enjoyed it. Now, on the flip side, teachers are very smart and very intelligent, and they know it. So I find that if you stroke their ego a little bit, you usually can get them to do anything you want. So it's like, Jake, what is that called? The bass box?
The bass.
The bass. I mean, that was a work of genius. And so, by the way, I need you to stay on Sunday.
It's in my car right now. I'll bring it over.
See, there you go. So no, but they're all great people, and I so enjoyed the time with them and watching them develop the kids. I mean, they've touched hundreds of kids' lives that, whether they stick with music or not, they have had that cognitive workout with music, and they'll be therefore more successful in reading, in memory stuff, and in schoolwork, and it translates to a lot of different things. And they don't even necessarily need to stay musicians forever. Just the experience of it, doing a couple years of piano, it's very beneficial. So it's been fun to see them grow, and it's been fun to talk shop, go out and have a pizza together and play games. They're all great people. So.
Yeah, and taking that kind of memory thing to the extreme, you were just telling me you did a talk about that earlier today, but like, I've seen videos of, you get these older people in these homes, and they'll play the music of the 20s, and you see these people that have been largely catatonic for a decade that just, start to get that little, they can feel, they remember, and those memories are really cool.
Yeah, I gave a discourse today for the South Placer Rotary. Thank you, Frank, for inviting me, just to give the kudos. But it's very interesting, because music is very connected with memory. And if you hit the right notes and or you listen to the right song, it will pull out memories that you thought you had forgotten, but you still have them. And so there's a lot of studies that have been done for the aging population, for kids, for middle-aged people, that all indicate that no matter how old you are or young you are, music is always very beneficial. It should be along with exercise, along with puzzles and things. You should incorporate it into your daily life. Half an hour,
right,
an hour of actually playing. There's been studies that say listening to music is great, but even a better advantage is the actual motor movement and engaging in playing an instrument. Yeah.
I'd be interested to see more on the research on that.
Yeah, in fact, they have done studies, and this is another thing that I'm very interested in rehabilitating people, for instance, young stroke survivors. So there's been studies done in Canada, albeit there haven't been that many, so not a large pool, but the studies indicate that people that have young stroke survivors that have disabilities, usually it affects one hand or the other, a regimen of piano along with other rehabilitation methods have been shown to improve their fine and gross motor skills.
Relearn how to use it.
Yeah, and in fact, I had a great lady come in who actually was a young stroke survivor. She was about 34, 35, and I tailored some curriculum around her, And we worked at it for about 2 months, and she did find that she had improved some of the strength in that affected hand, which was really fun. So,
That is cool.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It is a whole science about, no? It's
It
like
is, yeah.
Music, therapy.
Music
or
therapy,
something.
yeah.
I mean, I know it's quite extent, but it goes along those lines. Like, you know, they use music for people with Alzheimer's, you know, for memory, to work with the memory and all that stuff. So, I mean, it's not just something that we make up. It's actually a career.
Oh, music, help you
I
win
know,
school.
I
And then
know.
just get her out.
You can actually do a fun game, which I like to do. Let me see if I can articulate it correctly. I don't know if you've ever had a point at which you say, oh, you know, that theme song, it's right on the tip of my brain.
Oh, yeah.
I know
Yes.
it, but I just can't recall it. I challenge you, if you know the name of the song, but you don't know the melody, go to YouTube, see the minimum notes you need to access that.
To figure the rest of it.
Yeah,
Huh.
so I did that with Gilligan's Island. I remember Gilligan's Island, you know.
Okay.
It's a little past you.
A little pre my time, but I think I
dating
would
myself.
recognize it.
I'm dating myself.
We all get older sometimes.
It's what's my parents watch it, yeah. It's not me.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Yeah.
or...
So I knew it was in there somewhere, right? I knew it was in there somewhere. And I'm like, you know what is the minimum notes I need? So I went to YouTube. I played 2 notes, da, da, and then the whole thing came back.
Oh.
So it's amazing that just some little notes will access in your brain that long-term memory and just pull it out. So it's really wonderful. So
yeah, I'll have to try that next time
Yeah.
I'm...
try it. Minimum notes. Try
Yeah.
it. It's a fun game.
I
So.
usually give up pretty soon. I'm like, oh, it will come back another
You just
day.
play the whole thing. Oh, okay, I got it now.
Oh, that's good. So segueing back kind of a little bit, so part of the changes throughout, you know, you said 2016, so that's about 4 years. We got, so how has the like staff changed in that time? I know I've been here for a little over a year and a half, I think. And so how is like the team when you started versus what it looks like now? And like, because as a community, even when people come in and out, that shared experience will grow the organization as a whole. And so I'm interested in kind of your recollections of the past. And
So yeah, I mean, I kind of have seen both. I know you guys, the new generation, and then the old generation. And I mean, I think for us, it's been fairly consistent. I mean, every personality is different. Every strength is different for all the teachers. They all bring something unique and wonderful to the table. And so I think, you know, not much has changed in the makeup of people. We really love a diverse array of, you know, guys and gals, older, younger, you know, classical study versus rock study, because you never know, like, what's gonna, we want to make sure that there's good fits for the kids. And so there's a really wide, and Mel's continued that as far as building a wide array of people that have different talents and, you know, different backgrounds. So, you know, if we only hired people that have a classical piano degree, well, chances are, you know, it's going to be kind of the same people. And we really love the diversity of our teachers. So we always look for that, you know, something new or unique to bring to the table. And so that's from my perspective. You know, like I said, everyone's personality is different. So,
for sure.
So it, you know, it always changes a little bit, but for the most part, it's all very, everyone brings stuff to the table, and it's positive things and great for the kids, and that's what the big message is.
And I think that's what we're looking, when we're looking to hire somebody, mostly is to know how they are working and teaching. Because, I mean, it could be people that is a great musician. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a great teacher or inspired teacher, right? And I know you have experience with one of your teachers that you didn't let you touch the bass for so long. And he
That
played
guy.
beautiful, and you were like so ready to play it anytime.
Thank goodness I don't remember that man's name.
But I think that's important to have, and it's very important to know that they will be, you know, they have high energy, they inspire kids, they are ready to be flexible with all things. So we're looking for somebody who will be a great fit to inspire these kids. They are just starting in the music and to move forward, because that's a very, you know, we talked one time in the meeting, how you touch somebody's life. The teachers are very influential in kids' life, you know, even though you might not think that 30 minutes can be very important for a kid. He might be waiting all week for those 30 minutes because he can let go everything, you know. He's somebody who doesn't criticize him, who always encourage him to do stuff. So it is very important for us that is people that are really gonna take these kids. And we're not talking about technically speaking because they're, you know, we're starting the musical, but inspire these kids to continue on the music and grow. You know, maybe eventually they will become a famous musician that will be like, well, I remember my teacher in Bach to Rock taught me this, and that's what made me really want to continue.
Yeah, we have a lot of, you know, because kids get older, they come and go, right? We have a lot of parents that will come back and talk to us and say, you know, you really changed our kid's life. They're doing this and that now, and they're, you know, and it could be, like I said, it could be music or it could be something else, but they definitely link a lot of the success back with music lessons and music with us. And, you know, the teachers are very passionate, and the curriculum too is designed for, to inspire kids and to make it fun for them. Our method is very different from like the classical method. I learned the classical way, and well, my teacher was a little bit different. She let me, you know, play what I wanted, but you know, ultimately you got to learn the scales, you got to learn the key signatures, you got to learn the time signatures. And in normal classical methods, the teachers will only want to teach the kids, like your bassist teacher. You know, if you don't learn how to tune it, then you're not going to play it, or you have to learn the scales, you know, learn all this boring stuff before you start playing songs.
Yeah.
And we're the reverse. We're like, we're going to show you some songs that you love. You may not necessarily understand all the technical aspects of it, or how you know, the time signatures and stuff, but you're playing it and you enjoy it and you see you can do it, right? It's not that hard if you practice.
Right.
So after that, you know, the teachers are very inspiring. Once the kids learn and understand and get inspired, they start wanting to learn all the theory and the quote unquote boring stuff. Because they're invested in it and they know they can do it and they're proud of that. So, and our teachers, just to come full circle on the teachers bring that inspiration out, pull it out of the kids and show the kids. And then along with our community service, when the kids go out and play, and they get public recognition, that's, you know, that's also very
that's huge for
inspiring
young
them.
musicians.
Yes,
So,
the
Absolutely.
performances. I know usually they get kind of nervous, but I mean, you can see them when after they perform, it's like, yes, I did it, and they just run, and they're so excited. So performing is important for us, too, and you want to use it in our community. So, you know, these kids are part of the community, and we want to just bring that back to the community as well.
And that's another difference for Bach to Rock is that, you know, teachers, you know, regular classical teacher maybe have 1 or 2 recitals a year, but it's a very insular event, right? There's only the parents, and there's only, you know, the teacher and
one
the
at
kids.
a time with an accompaniment. And that's it,
I mean, it's enjoyable, but it's not really necessarily a community service thing where they're actually assisting.
It's checking the box.
Yeah, just checking the box. So while we do have some kind of recitals too, but we have a lot of venues and a lot of events we play at. So we've played at the Harris Center for the food drive.
Bank. Yeah, the food.
The food drive, the food bank.
It must have been before I started. I'll have to
Raise
check that out.
money,
We'll do it again.
played on stage 1, right? We've, some bands have won awards, you know, for local talent shows. But my favorite things are we've helped at the Veterans Day events, police appreciation events. We've helped at
Patriot Day,
Christmas tree lightings, gem fairs, what's the other one? Hot Chili Cool Cars with the Rocklin Chamber of Commerce. And that is where the kids really kind of, along with the teachers, you know, they get so inspired and, you know, they want to continue. They love doing that, so.
Yeah, they're the ones who did it.
Yeah, they're the ones that did it. They made that event, you know, special. Because anyone can get a DJ and pay him $300, you know, to just, do
Deadpan,
some
just wiki.
But when you have a group of we've had even down to 8 and 9-year-old. When you have we did the soccer, the opening soccer for Rocklin, right? And thanks to Destiny Church, they brought out this big LED stage, which was totally awesome for the kids. And the kids, you know, were able to perform, and everyone loved it, and it was just so much. It had so much added value than just music that's pre-recorded. I mean, all the soccer players, everyone was pumped up, and there was a big American flag LED lighting in the background. It was just one of my most memorable events. And we're still out there, after we get through COVID, we'll be out there
Hopefully,
helping
yeah.
out wherever we can.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's actually the next point was COVID, because in March, or I believe was March, when the first lockdowns first hit. I know I pieced out for 3 months and then came back all groggy eyed. And so I was wondering, how has the experience of that shutdown changed, until now, and then Lord blessing, coming out of it, hopefully sometime soon.
As we look forward to this craziness. So yeah, I mean, it definitely affects everybody, and we are not exempt of any of those, situation. The world completely shut down for a minute. So we definitely have to be very creative, and we did have to switch immediately to online, which wasn't something that we offered before, but that now is available. So for those who is still trying to, stay quarantine and save and out of, the flu season and all that stuff coming, and just a little more concern, we do have online, obviously, lessons via Zoom. So we did completely shut down. We trained our teachers. We completely changed the attitude. And I mean, we've been very grateful that people has been sticking with us even during the hard times. Yeah. And I mean, we were impacted with many people who did have to drop off, but we still have like a good core of students who has been sticking with us and going through times. And I see more people coming back now that we have in person and virtual lessons.
We've been steadily growing too.
I know. So we are slowly and steady growing, but I feel like the concept is there. People is ready to go out. We are providing safety for the kids, and we are giving them something that, a lot of in these crazy times of COVID, kids need some kind of outlet to go out. Many of them spend the whole day just in the computer. So I think this is this is a great way for them to, just come and just get all the stress out. Families are stressed, people losing jobs. So music is important, and especially during these times. And for the kids who many times we think they don't know, they know more than what we think, and they're listening to us complaining. They know the news. They listen to the classmates. So I feel like this is a great option for them to continue, just kind of navigating through this COVID times, hopefully until we get some kind of normalcy. It gives them some kind of normalcy if they continue. We have many people that during all this time that we continue, and they're very grateful that they have this option for the kids.
Yeah.
We have kids that are in homeschools, and they say, we are grateful that you have the online option, because then we can have the kids, all the extracurricular activities are kind of canceled, eliminated, shut down. So we are grateful that our kids have this opportunity to at least do music. So I feel like we're going to be here for the community, obviously, and we, standing strong during these hard times.
We opened back up in what month? August for in-house lessons, or September?
No, it was July.
July. So we're open for in-house lessons or online.
Online, virtual.
When we opened up, we had a bunch of parents come in and just say,
yes,
thank you for opening it up. We missed you. Thank goodness, and we have an option. And I don't have much to say on the whole process, because you kind of lived it from the beginning to end. But I want to say a thank you to the teachers, like you said.
Yes.
Very flexible.
Absolutely.
Roll with the punches. Learn a brand new way of teaching for some of them.
Yes.
And they just went for it, and it was amazing. So really great
Yes.
and inspiring to me.
Yeah, and with the families, it's always great to see a familiar name come through the email. It's like, oh yes, it's these guys. Like,
yes.
I love seeing them, and happy to see the kids just, maybe they practiced, maybe they didn't during the time, and it's like, oh, where are they now? Like, let's go. And the drive that they have when they come back is really cool. So I wanted to ask, so the broad question is, why Bach to Rock? But maybe we can start with why did you guys get started? From the administration standpoint, it's like, oh well, Bach to Rock, maybe it has XYZ, or maybe however you guys got started. How did you guys get around here?
So that's me, because I started.
I know.
So I was looking for a change. I come from the federal background as an agent, so I was looking for a change of pace because I was getting tired of going all over the country.
Paper stamp.
Yeah, and so I just started looking, and I just actually, I was interested in music, but also, I wanted the project that would be worthwhile. And I, came across the ad of Bach to Rock, and they needed a new director. So I met with the old directors, and I'm sorry, the former owners. I met with them when they were the owners then, and we hit it off. I came in and interviewed here, and I was just amazed at our studio. It's very unique compared to other places that that are studios. We have a giant performance room, which we're in right now.
Yes.
We have over behind the camera, we have our control room and the recording room, which kids get to use, when they pass certain milestones. And, just my mix of kind of rock and roll from my stepdad and my classical from my piano teacher, it was kind of like the best of both worlds. And even the name indicates that, Bach to Rock. And I thought, wow, this is such a great and innovative method to teach kids. And I was a fan from day one. They really liked me. They put me in touch with our Bach Truck corporate, because we are a franchise. And I talked with the head of curriculum who wrote all the curriculum. I talked with the vice president of operations, and we all hit it off. And so next thing you know, they said, we want you to come on board. And first order of business is getting a ton of teachers and a ton of fun, interesting, inspiring teachers. And we just grew from there. We were fastest growing franchise in Bach to Rock 2017 out of all the Bach to Rock franchises. We've won awards for Rocklin, City of Rocklin Community Service and other things like that. So we really have a passion for that, and I love the idea that kids have to go out and do community service also. So that was a big thing for me too. And I thought the curriculum was really good, and it was designed well and designed to make to pique the curiosity of the kids, to inspire them, to show them that they can play. Because so many times, and I know, like I keep throwing your bass teacher under the bus, but I've had teachers like that too, where the mentality of the teacher is like, I know all this, and if you're smart enough, if you're good enough, if you're special enough, you may be able to do it too. But that's not us, right? And that's not the philosophy of Bach to Rock. Bach to Rock is like, Billy, you can do it. We're going to show you how. If you practice and you dedicate yourself, you will be able to do it.
Yeah.
And so it's such a different philosophy than a lot of places.
Very let's learn together almost.
Yeah, let's learn together. Tell me what you want to learn. What songs do you like? I mean, I used to sub back in the early days when I was building. I would sub, and I remember a boy, Zuriel, and he spent 3 years with us.
Yeah, Zuriel.
He did not know anything of piano, right? And so, he was a very, very quiet kid. And so, we teach the teachers, or we train the teachers to find common things, between you two. So I implemented that, and I asked him, so what movie, because I asked him, well, what music do you want? I don't know what music I want to learn. And it was tough for me. And so we started talking about movies, and we found that we were both Lord of the Rings fans, which I'm a very,
as you should be,
very big fan.
Yeah.
I've read them 30 times. He loved that. I loved that. We started talking about that. And before you know it, we hit it off. I figured out he liked a lot of these YouTube techno videos. And so we started off with that. It wasn't really in the curriculum. We started off with that. We introduced the curriculum. By the end, he was playing classical music. He was playing rock and roll, jazz, playing in concerts. Fast forward 3 years with other teachers. And so it was.
He was in a band for a while too. Yeah.
He was in a band. Yes, he was in a band.
And it was very neat to see him come with no knowledge all the way to that point. And that's my favorite part about this whole thing, is just seeing the kids on day one, and then fast forward 2 years and seeing them grow And so that's kind of how it came about for me, and I was totally sold on it, and we connected with the Rocklin Business Chamber and with all these other police, Rocklin Police Department, Fire Department, City of Rocklin, and we just put ourselves out there and to help in the community, and it's been a great journey thus far.
Yes, so far.
The proof of it for me, the idea that like the kids start at nothing and go crazy, and it's and for me it's Matthew, our teacher Matthew. He started I don't know where exactly he started. He was here when I started, but he was in the band, and then when he graduated high school, he's like, "Oh, can I teach?" And we're like, "Absolutely," because you learned our curriculum, and through the curriculum, it's like, well, if who's more qualified to turn that around, and now he's learning over at UCLA, and I hear doing very well. So that's
the music degree, yes.
Yeah,
But I think the whole concept too of helping the community and reach back, I feel like is very important too for Back to Rock. Not only to bring the kids to the community, but we help in many other ways. We try to bring DJ services to the schools when they have fundraising. Or we try to help with, like baskets when they do have raffles or things like need to get done for we help many of the Rocklin schools. We've been in many of the festivals, and that's how we met many of the students and families through the school districts. We were there for the kindergarten enrollment, which is huge. And again, it's just helping the community. We don't charge anything to anybody. We just want to be there and support the cause and making sure that these kids that will be, eventually with us and part of our community, we want to making sure we are helping their schools and giving back to, where they come. So I think that's important, and I think that concept that the Back to Rock has. Another thing that I really like about Back to Rock is like we are so diverse. Like, people come over here and right now we have close to like 10 teachers, different teachers, different backgrounds. So, I mean, sometimes you go to a place and it's just one person who teach, all the lessons, or it's just, so-and-so piano plays, and then it's just him. So I feel like over here you have so many options, females playing the drums. We have, boys, young, older, all kind of different backgrounds. So I think, people come over here and options. Sometimes they come and like they don't know what instrument, and can we start with this and halfway like, no, we want to try the drums. No problem. We just switch it to a different, So I feel like it's an open opportunity for them to not just be stuck to like one instrument, or if they don't know, or they say, well, I tried, piano and I wasn't a piano kid, but go ahead and try drums, or go ahead and try guitar, something else that is available. It's just a switch, and the schedule is really easy for people to explore different instruments and see what they like and what they stick with the kids. Sometimes kids don't know. They just know they want to play something. Yeah,
and a big part of that too is, being able to switch lessons, or switch instruments rather, and time and teacher, it's all on the table. There's some students that know half of our teacher base, first name, give them a high five, or, they would give them a high five on the street if that was socially acceptable at the moment. But especially like off the top of my head is like Jackson. Little Jackson, he's 7, and he saw him. I was, I forget where I was. I think I was at my little sister's school, and he happened to be there with his older sister. And he saw me and just like gave me a big old fist bump. And at first I was like, what? It's so cool to be a part of something bigger like that.
And then now that you say that too, I feel sometimes, the teachers sub for other teachers, so they have different views, and I think people like that too. People like that, your kid is getting different views for the instrument, different takes, different approaches, so it opens a lot more the mind of the kid.
And with all those different perspectives, the centralizing factor is the curriculum. It's always the same.
It's always
the
same.
You may have teacher A one day and then maybe teacher B the next month or whatever, but and they're all inspiring, and they all, like Mel said, come with a little bit different perspective and twist on it. But there's always that core curriculum that was written by Bach Rock, so it's a proprietary curriculum.
Yes.
But so that's very fun.
Right.
So we're getting a little close to the end. I would check the time. I was going to do it earlier, but I didn't want to pull my phone out. So we got about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And so I'm just thinking, what does the future really look like for Bach to Rock? We can toss on the table, let's say COVID's over, or we can say it continues. What does it all really look like without giving away too much? I know our band program's going to have some changes here in the near future.
Yes. And I think that's the big one the next year that we're working on, and you obviously helping Jake to build bands. I think the band program is one of the things the kids talk more about. They enjoy. It's such a community, friends get together, they go to gigs, they love it. So I think that's kind of the focus for this 2021. We did have a pretty big band program before COVID got, and because the restrictions, we did have to break down the group settings. We couldn't do any online for the band. So I think we are definitely working on getting that program back, which is fantastic. It's one of our, I will say, the things that people look for. And we even have kids that, used to be in COVID, and the other day you just got a call like, hey, when is the band program coming? You're like, just get on the schedule. We are ready to go. So I think the band program and the Keys and Keys, which is another very strong program that we have for kids that are 5 to 7, kids that, are in the beginning, they're not ready for private lessons. We do have a group setting in which they can start with the fundamentals of music, help with the sight reading, help with the rhythm, and then they play some music in the keyboard. Sorry. So, and those little songs, they're very easy, and they keep motivating them because they're easy, they learn it fast, they move forward. And after that, they complete the Keys and Keys, they're ready to take into any instrument. So they have all the foundations they need, and they usually is a very fun transition. Teachers love when the kids come because they already have all
Big
that.
celebration.
Yes.
Yep.
So many of them are like, they're little kids and they want to be a drummer. So we put it in that program beginning because, little 6-year-old, 5-year-old, they don't reach the drum pedal yet. So they're not an age for the drums. Bad is coming. So we're like, don't worry, just go through this program. And as soon as you finish, you're going to be in the drum program.
You learn your rhythms, you learn how to work with other people. Yeah, it's really...
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
depending, like Jackson, he's what, 6?
7, I think?
Seven.
And he was really excelling in that. So, yeah, that's, that's exactly what we're going to be doing in the near future, pending, hopefully COVID goes away, or the vaccines come out, and then we're all,
Oh, yeah. So
hopefully enough get vaccinated. Where
cross my fingers now, and I won't stop.
But, if the COVID's gone, I really picture us in a more longer term sense. Really, my vision always was when I started that, and we got close, before COVID, is just this place packed with kids.
Yeah.
Packed with learning, every room, some kids doing something. And I remember at certain points, pre-COVID, I'd walk in and every room I go in, someone was doing something, and it's just like, that's what I want to see, is just a center of activity, a center of inspiration for the kids, more, and as we grow, we have a bigger capacity to also help the community too, because we'll have more bands and we'll want to get them out to do, to do things for the community. So that's kind of my vision, be, more active in the community and pack this place. So.
And I think we've been limited, obviously, to take the kids out because of COVID.
Yeah.
But I feel like lately we did have a little window of opportunity there, and we
it
jumped
was
on
fun,
it. And we're like, we just have to do it. So we've been doing a lot of outdoor gigs. We've been, in business in the community, like restaurants, cafe. They've been letting us to bring our kids to play in their venues, and
thank you,
we
Fig Tree,
I know the
Shady
Fig
Cafe.
Tree. We've been in the Denials.
Thank you, Denials.
So we're trying to help each other here. We're trying to get the kids out. Parents are enjoying the time to when they see the kids perform, and not just parents. We were in the Fig Tree, and people walked by, and they were surprised to see the kids, performing. They were excited. The kids were loud. They got all their energy out. So I feel it's like a lot of great energy there. Just kind of
It's
make you forget for a minute that
Yeah.
you are in COVID times.
It's really a symbiotic relationship, with our band kids and helping the communities out. The Fig Tree that we just recently played at said this
So
was
much fun.
they told us this was one of their best selling days since COVID.
Really?
So
Yes.
they increased their sales so much, which is so good, which is so great. I mean, it's so neat that not only do the kids get to help out, but they're actually contributing to the success of a small
Yes.
business, right? And we really are pro small
I
business.
know,
So.
which is, being struggling as well. Restaurants and cafes are being struggling through this
Yeah.
COVID, saying that we are, but, anything to help each other,
Yep.
that would be fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
that's the opportunity.
Yeah, that community outreach has really been like the fun, like the
Yes.
most fun thing on my end,
Yes.
helping to create it, and then finally being able to go out and see Fig Tree, which was the first
Yes.
event
It was
that I've
fun,
been able to
yeah.
go out to. So much fun.
I know.
And just great to see everyone have some fun, and both solos and the bands, and amazing, just a
Yeah.
ton of fun.
Very cool.
And so I know that we're also going to start expanding our online presence. We've been doing Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I was heading that, and then not necessarily my forte, though I was having fun.
You did great.
I liked them.
You posted were fun always.
Yeah.
Just
I
let me
always
know.
selected like or heart on it.
So we definitely, we always looking to get the people like us, review our, programs. If you're one of our students and then you be satisfied, we're looking for reviews. And, now since like everybody's in social media, I am in social media all the time myself. So that's kind of been the focus. So we usually send a newsletter every Wednesday, but we are definitely putting a strong, I'm sorry, with the social media.
It's not
Yeah,
the Rona. It's not the Rona.
I know.
And families, if you have friends or family members, and you're already going here, invite them, tell them to come by. We can give tours. It's hands-on. If the kids want to try something, we'll let them try it. And, if they are interested in something, we can sign them up. And it's not only for new, a lot of our kids come in and they haven't learned, they're brand new. But even if you have a person that's a seasoned musician or an intermediate musician, bring them, because they can jump right into the band program and help. We have, 5 bands right now? So they can jump in, and that's the magic of music, right? Is that a band is whatever you want it to be, whatever the kids want it to be. You could put a drummer with a bassist and a singer and a flutist and go Jethro Tull, or you can, do saxophone, and, you can
8
do
guitars.
all 8 guitars,
Why not?
a chorus, a trio. I mean, and everything is, however you put together, it's going to sound amazing. So, whatever your child plays, we even have a dad band that comes in.
They do.
The dad
They rent
band
the
and-
place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and-
What was their
definitely.
name again?
And they do
I
gigs.
can't remember, but they did a couple. We put it once.
I
on
think they're
our
coming up
website.
soon. I think
They
early
do live
January.
streams
they're coming
from
out.
here, and they are. I mean, one of the dads was like, "This is the highlight of my month. This is like the thing that I've been
Yeah.
waiting for the whole month, just to come and gig. Have some jam time with my friends." So I mean, music it doesn't have an age, and we're not just for kids. We're like for whoever wants to learn
Yeah.
the program, and we do have a teacher for anybody, and we do have a curriculum for anybody. So it definitely, we don't want to limit ourselves to just
Yeah.
think that it's a kid thing.
Yeah, one of my favorite students, she came in, she was around, she was like a grandma, right? She had grandkids, and she did not know anything about music, but she's like, I want to play piano. And probably in about 6 months, I think she took about a year's worth of lessons with us. In about 6 months, she was playing Mozart, she was
nice.
playing Pachelbel, she was playing Beethoven, and she really did it. And so, and she was amazed that, she could just, and that's kind of our philosophy at Bach Rock. It's like, doesn't matter, 100 plus or 3 years old. I mean, we have, programs. I don't think we have a program open right now, but because of the COVID, but we have a Rock City program for young kids. And the earlier you get kids in, the better. But no matter how old you are, it's always a benefit to learn something.
Yeah.
So, and
Never
people
too
can
late.
do it. Never too late. Yeah.
Never too late. That's true. Though you got somebody today. What he was asking you for?
He was asking for, I want to say it was kalimba tabla, which is I want to say Indonesian hand drum,
Okay.
congos, and then there was one more that I recognized, but I can't recall.
I know.
I'll have to play some music and
Yeah.
And recall it, recall it, yeah, exactly.
that was funny. I was like, oh, very obscure
I know.
for the Western culture, but okay, let's see what we can do for you.
But yeah, they were, and I was an adult that, sometimes people, grandkids are, the kids are out of the house, you only have grandkids here and there, so you just want to take on a hobby, and what a better thing than just play music. We did have a grandpa who was singing, he was in a band, and he would take voice lessons to do, to go for his band. He was the backup singer, and he loved it.
We've also had some, it was kind of dad and daughter guitar. We had a group that did that for a little while.
Yes, mom and son.
Mom and son, that's
and then
right.
we have a dad and son voice too,
Yeah.
Really?
singing.
Oh, yes, I remember that. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So
The combinations
yes.
are limitless.
I
on how you
know.
wanna do
Just
it,
bring all
so-
your kids. Just we give one two instrument to each, and you have a band in no time.
Put some
exactly.
earplugs in at the
Yeah.
start. It'll be good.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's one of the neat things about the band program is that we will, get the kids to play something pretty quickly, and you'd be surprised because, most of us have grown up kind of in, listening to rock and roll and listening to these. So our ears are already trained to these rhythms. And so when you get kids together and the teacher together and you put them all on the instrument, yeah, at first it's kind of like out of rhythm, but they all somehow seem to coalesce into the
figure it out,
rhythm
yeah.
and figure it out. And it's been so wonderful. You think, no way, first time, no
know.
way. And they're playing like, Queen, or they're playing some other rock and roll song, and you're like, wow, this is great.
I always tell, because in the summer camps, it's like one of those shows like the television. You don't know at the end if something is going to come out. I'm like, no way they're going to sing. And then they perform on Friday, and I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
They perform like 3 or 4 songs. When this happened?
Yeah, and most parents are amazed. Like, we have summer camps too, and, pending COVID, we'll open up summer camps. It's a week-long camp, 6 hours a day, I believe it is.
Yes.
And they, around there,
I
approximately.
think it's, yeah.
Or
I think
6.5
you're right.
or something. And so they come out, Monday through Friday intensive. They come out Friday, and they're playing like 2 or 3, 4 songs. And you're like, these kids have never met each other.
Yes.
And they come on, they may even not even played the instrument yet.
Yes.
But they do it. So, and the parents are like, I don't know how this is happening, but they're all playing. So
Yes.
they're really amazed by it.
And they switch. Sometimes they start on the drum, but they play the guitar, the other song. So they don't even stack in one instrument. So they're like multi-instrument by the end of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, which is a good, it gives them a
skill.
well-rounded view of all the
Absolutely,
different
yes.
instruments. So,
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. If you
you.
tuned in with us,
Thank
we'll
you.
have this on our YouTube page, hopefully soon, hopefully very
Yes.
soon. Again, this is Mel and David, our current owners and current director and past director, and I'm Jake. It was great to have you guys here, and I'm really happy that we got to do this. And
Yes, that's
hopefully there's
fun.
more to come as we go through this.
Yes,
More to come, for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
guys.
Jake.
See ya.
Bye.
So much.